Morning everybody, Mike and Emily here with CAVU Farm. Welcome back. About 7 weeks or so ago we got some chickens in the mail, our Cornish cross chicks. Well, today's the day. Today we get to show you everything there is to know about processing these chickens, and soup to nuts, everything. We're not going to show you the unaliving part, but we'll show you everything about processing and getting them into the freezer. So we got a few things to do around the farm real quick. Got to feed some animals and get the area set up, get it cleaned, all that, and then we can get to processing. So we plan to do all this stuff to process these chickens. We plan on having a big tractor that has forks on it. That is that's back at John Deere getting worked on, because whatever fix they did, warranty fix, it didn't fix it. So the part that was supposed to come in was not in, so hopefully they'll have the part in today and they'll be able to drop the tractor off later this afternoon. But that and the garage door spring broke, so our Can-Am, our UTV that's in there, is locked in there. So we just got to clean off our gator, scrub it down just a little bit, and then we can start moving stuff around. All right, let me clean off this this dump bed and clean up this area just a little bit. I got to hook the hose up. I'll do that real quick. Hook the hose up to our hydrant. I'll clean the buggy off. And then I got to get the pot for the scalder. I got to get that plugged in, get that going, because that takes a while to get heated up. Last year we got an ice maker that makes like, I don't know, 80 pounds of ice a day or something like that. So we got that so we could bag our own ice, so we don't have to rely on driving to the gas station or whatever. We just make our own, and it works out great. So we made, I think, 15 bags of ice, about 150 pounds of ice. We have to clean the coolers. The coolers you just saw being put on the hay wagon there, we got to clean those, we got to bleach them, let them dry, and then we'll fill them up with some water and some ice. We need to, after we're processing these chickens, we have to get these chickens down, I think it's below 40 degrees Fahrenheit within like so much time. Now, we don't sell these chickens, these are just for us, but the USDA, they have specific guidelines for processing plants and things like that, and that's what we follow. So I gotta take these tables right here, I gotta take them, put them outside so that way they can get bleached, cleaned, and let them dry off, and then we can start processing. Those are the cones we use. You saw us screw them to the fence. We'll hang the chickens upside down in there, and their head will go through the bottom, and that's where we dispatch the chickens. We have everything cleaned up, the table, knives, coolers, we've got everything good to go. And now it's time to start processing these chickens. All right, so we have a few of these chickens outside. They're not inside of where we're gonna be dispatching these. Those cones you saw me install, we're gonna hang the chicken upside down in there. Their head is gonna go through, and then I'm gonna, with the knife, I'm gonna cut both of their arteries in their neck. They're gonna be almost instantaneously expired. There might be some flapping and all that, but that's just the muscle, the electrical signals going to the muscles. I'm not gonna show any of this, so the next time you see me, we'll have a chicken that we're gonna have to pluck, and then we'll pick it up from there. All right, so the next step is we have to scald the chickens. That's gonna loosen up the skin a little bit and allow us to pluck these chickens a lot easier. Here.
How long do you scald?
You're gonna scald until the wing feathers can come out easy. So initially maybe 20 seconds, and then we'll try to take one of the wing feathers out. Use the wing feathers right here. So it's still a little tough. And you want to agitate the chicken a little bit. It has just natural oils on their skin, and you want to agitate, and that'll help get some of the hot water in. There we go, they came out easy. All right, follow me. Next step, this is a plucker. It's a lot easier than plucking these by hand. All it does is use these little rubber fingers. Some of the tools you're going to need a knife to help cut. These work out pretty good. These are nice little heavy-duty kitchen shears. That's for cutting maybe through the neck or something like that. You also have one of these. This would be super helpful. This is a lung scraper. So here in a couple seconds, I'll show you how we open these things up, and then we remove all the entrails. All right, so we have all the feathers off. I'm going to go ahead and take the head off. And then next thing we want to do is we have to find their crop. Their crop is going to be right around in here. That little point right there, that's their crop. So what I need to do is make a little slit right here. This is their crop, this thing right there. And I'm going to try to go in there and pull it out. All right, so the neck, here's the neck. This is the esophagus right here. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that's detached, because that's gonna go out the back end. And next thing is I'm gonna go ahead and take this neck off. So to do that, you need a little knife to cut the skin. Kitchen shears, and we'll save that. We'll put that in a bag. We can make stock from that. Next thing is are the feet. Take the feet off. There's a joint right here. It's kind of like their elbow, I guess. And all you got to do is just hyperextend it just a little bit. So hyperextend it just a little bit and go right in between, right in the middle. And it opens the bone up and the foot comes right off. Let's do the other one. Here's the other foot in between these two bones, right in the middle. Just nice and gentle. You don't have to push hard. It opens up that joint and the foot comes off. We'll save that. Next, this is the back end of the bird. Here's the two breasts, the leg, and the wing. So right in the back end, all we have to do is pinch the skin right here and make a little hole. There we go. There's the entrails. Now what you want to do is kind of cut down just a little bit. That's the anus. There's the tail. And all you got to do is reach in, reach all the way up into here. You'll feel the back of the rib cage, and you might even feel kind of where the esophagus and all that go into the cavity. But you're gonna gently, you can feel the heart, gently grab the entrails and all the things in the inside and gently pull it all out. So this is the esophagus that I'm holding on to right here. This was in the neck, now it's out. And just leave it like this, so that way you can cut the anus and the tail off. Now what you can do after this, this is the whole ball of innards. This is the heart. You see the heart right there. We'll save that. And this is the liver right here. We're gonna save the liver. So as you're taking the liver off, you want to be careful of this right here. This is the gallbladder. You want to make sure you don't puncture that. If you do, quickly just wash the meat off or the liver off, and then you should be fine. But I'm going to cut around that. Well, there you go. That's what happens when you open that up. Nice happy accident. And then all the entrails, you can keep the gizzard. Some people will take that, we don't. But we'll just take all the entrails right here and they go right in the trap. We'll save the heart. Now inside the cavity is where the lungs are still are. I'm gonna use this little tool right here, and all I'm gonna do, I don't know if you can see that because of the sun, but I'm just gonna scrape the lungs out. So all you do is just kind of go to town inside up front and then pull the lungs out, and then we can just throw that away. All right, so now that we got the chicken pretty much taken care of, we're just gonna give it some rinsing. So the chicken is nice and clean. Now what we need to do, we need to get this thing down to 40 degrees or colder. Earlier we set up this cooler. We got this thing clean. We have water. We have some ice in here. And we need to get this thing submerged so that way we get the core of this chicken as cold as possible. Well, that's it. That's all of our chickens. We got 26 of these chickens. They're all processed. They are in the cooler. This is just a few of them here. And we do have bags of feet, heart, and necks. So that way, some people cook with them. we will too. That was our second cooler. This is our first cooler. Looks like all the ice is melted, but I'll tell you the water is pretty cold. So the next step is we emptied out our scalder, cleaned it up pretty quick, and then filled it back up with fresh water, and we set the temperature to I don't know if you can see that, it's flickering on the screen, but 195 degrees. It's at 110 right now. So 195 degrees. That temperature is used. We use that for when we vacuum seal these birds. But the bags that we have, they're plastic clear bags, and they're heat sensitive. So we will put the chickens in those bags. We'll tie them up and then dunk them in this 195 degree water, and that will shrink wrap the bag onto the chicken. And then we'll weigh it. We'll probably write the date and how much that chicken weighs, and then it goes right in the freezer. We got 26 chickens this go around. Those 26 chickens will probably last us about a year. We eat about 2 chickens a month. So at the rate that this heater is heating up, we probably have like an hour before it'll get to 195 degrees. So we got a few chores to do around the farm. We're gonna do that, and then we'll pick up when we start bagging these things up. Well, we have the hot water is hot, so we can shrink wrap these things. This is the bag that we're gonna use. We're gonna stick the chicken in there, zip tie it all the way down, and there's a straw that goes with this, so we'll stick that in there so when it shrinks, the air has a way to get out, to get up and out. And then we'll just shrink them down. We got 26 to do. Those are the zip ties, and we'll get these done. Hopefully, quick, fast, and hurry. Get them in the freezer. Get them frozen as soon as we can. This is a lot easier with 2 people. What we gotta do is have somebody open up the bag. Now that it's windy, oops, keep the bag open. Stick the chicken in. Just like that. And we have the straw. The straw goes all the way down into the cavity. And then we'll get a zip tie on this. You want the zip tie to be kind of on the snug side. You still need to have a little bit of room to pull that straw out. But let's go ahead and get this in the water. It's still warm up to 195, but that's hot enough. All we're gonna do is just dunk this in. You can see a little bit of water is coming out. We'll put this in for 5 to 10 seconds. That's good. Follow me around over here. Make sure all the air is out. We'll pull out the straw and lock down the zip tie. One is done. Well, we have all the chickens are bagged up and shrink wrapped. Now what we need to do, we're gonna weigh them real quick so that way we can put their weight and today's date on the chicken, and then we can figure out how much total chicken we got out of these 26 birds. So let's weigh them up. All right, so all said and done, we got 142 pounds of chicken. That comes from our 26 birds that we processed today. Do some basic math on the cost of the chickens and the cost of the feed. That comes to $1.17 per pound. So that's not too bad. That's a lot better than grocery store prices, that's for sure. And probably the best thing is we did put some sweat equity into this. And we knew what we were feeding our chickens. We know what went into them, and we knew they had a pretty happy life all the way through, and we made it as pleasant for them as possible, all the way up until the final moment, of course. So we have the chickens freezing right now, so they can get rock solid, and then we'll be adding our chickens to the menu. Well, that's it. That is it for chicken processing day. We started processing about 10 o'clock or so. We were done by 3, minus some lunch in there. So all those birds to process took about 4 hours, plus a little bit more to get them shrink wrapped and into the freezer, so we get them weighed and write the date on them. But it was a good day. It was pretty breezy out, but it was a little on the cool side, which is nice. That helps keeps the chickens chilled down as much as possible. We really appreciate you sticking around, watching our videos. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share with all your friends, family, and loved ones. And like what we always say,
See you on the next video.
see ya.